First, everyone, this is a pleasure and a treat. Please put your hands together for our featured poet for the day, Chris Locsin!
It's amazing to go to a place where people are reading poems once a month, and it's always like this, always super welcoming. Everyone's super dope and appreciative, and the room's always full. So thanks for having me, PCSJ. I'm just going to read a bunch of poems, or a few poems, if that's okay. I don't plan on talking that much, but this is called Melting Pots and Frying Pans. Little Lumpia sits silently in the center of a disposable aluminum pan waiting to be picked by a little boy's hand, or girls, aunties, uncles, cousins, grandma. Actually, grandma wouldn't take until the table was blessed, but the rest of us, what can I say? My lumpia sneak game is strong. I can do the handshake of the kids of Guam with my right while performing grand theft lumpia with my left. Behind the back like steps, so you know I'm shooting for three. Grandma's is the best, and my wife will disagree, and we both be right. Lumpia is more feeling than food, and our memories were cooked up in different frying pans. Mine were made in an old chicken ranch in San Martin, California. We just call it the ranch. At the ranch, we cook mainland memories on island time. We cook babies and bellies like cupcake wars, and every year there are new competitors with different colored frostings. At the ranch, we eat our hearts out on paper plates and drink living room libations we share like Eucharist wine, passing mics from boys to uncle boy, to aunties with voices angelic, to little nieces with voices they inherited from their aunties. At the ranch, every Christmas is a mistletoe's manifesto, and every Easter, a hard-boiled Holocaust. Every kid is a cousin, every cousin is a character, every character is a cog in a machine that makes memories. Every memory is a moment, every moment is a story, every story becomes legend, and every legend creates legacy. And this legacy is an echo, bouncing back the bump of my grandma's thumping heart. These hallowed walls, the chamber that holds her memory. This old chicken ranch, transformed from cockfights to cocktails, from American dream to Guamanian Filipino reality show. This is what I mean when I introduce myself. When I tell you that my grandma had 14 kids, 7 boys and 7 girls, 45 grandchildren, 55 great-grands, and not enough lumpia to go around. During the pandemic and after, my aunt was working on a project, and she would send me things that she wanted me to write on, and I would write poems based on her direction. She's an amazing dance teacher at Santa Clara University and a director. She's in back named Pauline Locsin. She was also the live action model for the original Mulan. So you'll see my last name at the end of the original Mulan. This was a story she had told me and written about. I'm looking for it right now. I apologize. About the jitterbug and Guam. So, called jitterbug. Jitters, etymology unknown. They say that the word jitters comes from drunks. That after too much gin, one would get the jitters or heebie-jeebies. It's a spoonerism, Bing and jitters instead of gin and bitters, a word created by mistake, born out of disorientation. Bug, etymology unknown. They say the word bug comes from the Welsh word boog, meaning ghost or goblin, like the boogeyman. One would get bitten in the middle of the night, attacked while sleeping as if by monsters, little pests that lived inside their beds, bed bugs, boogeymen, whatever they were, dancing on innocent skin and leaving their mark. After the Japanese occupation of Guam ended in the summer of 1944, the Chamorro people danced the jitterbug from shore to shore. No more hiding, No more beatings in school. No more paranoia that English might slip from tongue or that little light-skinned brother be found and killed for looking too American. No more jitters. They stepped out from the shadows and into the light. After almost 3 years of occupation, my family was free. Mom was 9 when she first learned Japanese and how to hide a child in the garbage can. She was almost 12 when those skills became non-essential. When the boogeyman returned back into the jungle, to the mythology of Tatamona, no longer the reality of a soldier with a gun. Nothing to fear but bugs and snakes. Finally, free. When Mom and Dad danced the jitterbug, they danced with all the swing and style of a body free from its captors. A celebration of life returned, like a liberation poem written in limbs and hips. You cannot dance the jitterbug in a cage. So this is where I learned to be free. When I stopped listening to the stories about hiding and listened instead to the music that comes with liberation, the poems and movement. That's when I decided to dance. That's supposed to be So when I got this opportunity, I was hoping that I would write more new stuff, and a lot of this is span of decades that I'm sharing today. So this is the beginning of a poem that's not done, and it's really short, so I'm going to share it. I think I have the beginning and the end, and I have like a couple minutes in the middle I need to help with. So. A robot invited me to dinner. Made lumpia and everything. But I didn't go. Because robots are liars. I don't blame them, though. It was the very first thing we taught them to do. The president said we won the war, after he promised there was no war. I didn't celebrate, because the president's a liar. At this point, I don't even blame him. It's the only thing he ever taught us that he does. At this point, if you celebrated, I blame you. This is called How to Draw a Breaking Rope. It's kind of a list poem because I thought everything I ever write is really just trying to paint a moment. There's usually a thing that happens and I go, oh, maybe that's going to be a poem, and it usually is. That's how it develops for me. And I saw this picture of a rope breaking. It was like these threads of a rope, and it was still sort of connected, and that's where this comes from. One, I miss the quiet. I miss the long leash that allowed this mind to wander over the sound of the heater humming out. When one ear is pressed gently against the pillow and the other hangs open into the air, the sounds are loose and insignificant. But when things are tight, pulled taut like a tightrope in each hand, and the bills or anvils at the end of each rope, and the harder you grip, the more it hurts, but you have to hold on or lose everything. It's difficult to hear the heater unless there's something wrong with it. Unless it pings or coughs like it's breaking, like rope ripping, when you're gripping so tight that the handles are burning at both ends. It's hard to think about anything with a rope. I'm at the grocery store with headphones on to drown out the inflation. I can't remember what I came here for. These thoughts keep bouncing around in this empty vault. No insulation of cash or cashmere to soak up the sound. It's like trying to have a conversation on a bad line when you hear your own voice keep echoing back and you can't communicate because you can't get the you out of your head. 2, there's that point in every argument where you can either say, I love you, or I'm leaving. And those few words whispered have the weight to either sink the boat or anchor it. Maybe that's what we mean when we say we're at the end of our rope. That our anchor can no longer reach the sea floor and therefore we are drowning. Maybe your relationship you shouldn't stay in is an anchor you should pull up. Otherwise, it becomes enough rope to hang yourself with. 3, I lift the corners of my mouth and I curl a smile. Pull the curtains up and play pretty. string together a couple strong sentences to show confidence. Hide my hands so they can't see the splinters, so they can't see that I'm at the end of my rope. A ticking twine bomb ready to give up and cut ties, but how do you know when you're at the end when you can't see past the water? How do you know if you should let go when the difference between a rescue line and a noose is just a couple knots? Rent paid or not, have or have not. She loves me. 4, I don't know. I cannot explain this fascination with rope. And I do not understand why we are not more fascinated. These tiny fibers weaved into each other over and over until a bundle of thread can tow a tanker? Isn't that what love is anyway? Just a bunch of stories tied into each other over and over until we are both pulling for what we've built, until we are both bound by our shared baggage. 5, the only difference between tied down and secure is the weather and the want. 6, if you look up how to draw a breaking rope, the first thing you notice is the last strip, the one good line, the only connection left. The first thing you realize is that a breaking rope is not broken. Sure, everything is breaking. Some are lightly weathered, and some of us are hanging on by a thread. But here, now, we are not broken yet. Again, just right with moments, it usually ends up being about my family, my girls, or legacy, this is another one about my kid, or another one about my kid. That's all up. I'm grateful that it's dark in this theater, that these tears are mine and mine alone in this crowded room. But I'm grateful for the tears too. Their heat is proof that they come from something alive. Even sadness has a heartbeat. But thankfully, finally, these are not those. My daughter is ensemble. She speaks no monologues. Her character's actions do not move the plot of this particular play. But when she enters the stage, beaming like the spotlight that follows the lead, she moves the plot. Creates a new data point for our chart to climb to, pulls us out of our collective recession into something rising, something more vibrant, more alive. Her smile is contagious, or more so, her smile is our smile too. The same strings pulling at the corners of her lips tug at my heart as well. We pull together. Maybe that's what family is. Just some shared strings. A marionette menagerie. Or maybe family is more voodoo doll because when she hurts, when she cuts or cries or pukes or pills or whatever teenage girls do to hurt themselves, a parent's pain is simultaneous. Sharp, hot, clenched belly and bile, a dark magic conjured in shared blood. A year ago, the tears were different. A year ago, the darkness was suffocating. A year ago, today seemed impossible. But today the future is warmer, kinder, more confident, more herself. At curtain call, she skips out to center stage, and when she bows, I can feel my back bending over my belly involuntarily. And when we rise back up, I can see my tears streaming down her smile. I can feel the warmth of the light on her face. I can feel the strings pulling all of us up. have time for one more? Okay. Yes, thank you. I did a rap the last time I was here, and that's when they asked me to come back. I'm a 48-year-old man who still writes raps and shares them with nobody. A computer full of old raps that no one will ever see, or maybe someday. And this is one of those. And again, this is like a freestyle rap. It just, not freestyle like off the top, but freestyle like there is no real direction. Usually the rhyme scheme is what's pushing me to the next part. But I always end up going to the same places. I haven't written in a while, so the first line is back to the mic. Back to the mic. Like a quarterback not seeing the blitz, I'm freeing my spit, tracking to my gum and my lips, I'm ready to rip. Like a parachute with a sinister plan, trying to finish a man by turning his skin into land. Now, I'm beginning to understand what it means to be the me that I am, what it means to be the me that I need to be for my seeds to be the queens of the land, for my Nina to stand tall and proud of the she that she is, for Maria to live up to the name that we gave her, the reason she lives. I'm seeing my kids looking at me like I'm supposed to be king and I'm doing my thing, but how do you teach an angel to fly when you never had wings? How do you teach an angel to fly when you never had wings? How do you be an MC that's fly when you're not into bling? Why do we bury the empty inside with all of these things? I will not water these lies when I don't want to see what it springs. I'm not a gardener, garden of hardened hearts, void of art, full of empty-ass toys like a boy shopping cart. I'm an artist, damn it. And if this world's a canvas, I'm gonna give my daughters all the paint that they could hold with their hands, and a couple vans more full of the coolest colors you have ever seen. Watch them paint the town red from Almaden to Evergreen. And when I'm in the ground dead and I become an evergreen, I'll leave behind some world-changing murals, some cactus evergreens. So catch my fire if you're dope enough to hear some molten lava lyrics on erupting on your eardrums. I don't really brag a lot, but let me make it clear, I'm not trying to be #1, more under zero. Deeper than rap, bigger than hip-hop. Better than dead presidents to lift your brands up out the thrift shop. It's all bullshit, man, and I ain't buying. I ain't raising witches with wardrobes, I'm raising lions. I ain't raising cods in the matrix, I'm raising Zions. And I will not let their dreams be deferred like raisins dying in the sun. No sons, my daughter's my affinity. I swear to God, these ballet buns will be the end of me. But till it comes, I'm gonna conquer all their enemies. And anything that threatens them, I'll kill it like a Kennedy. And I know, that last verse is kind of overboard. I thought about a rewrite, but I think you might write it overboard. I'm overthinking like a kid inside a candy store. A Rolo's in my hand, but there's no Skittles I ain't had before. I'm swaying back and forth, red flags and matadors, trying to find my balance like I'm standing on a paddleboard. A mixed man with a mixed race, mixing up the categories, flipping up the script like a tail wagging its Labrador. Always been indecisive, scatterbrained and abstract, trying to keep my calm like James Bond, but never had that. I ain't the coolest motherfucker in the Cadillac. I'm more the dude in the doom buggy raging like Mad Max. I think I lost track. This was a lost track. I brought it back because when I found it, there's some lost raps. In my computer, when I'm gone, you'll find some artifacts, so when I die, you'll hear my heartbeat long after my heart